Hi, I'm Judy Hansen, and I'm here today representing Blank Fabrics. And the purpose of a schoolhouse is education, not just to say, hi, I have a new fabric line with blank quilting. We hope you'll buy it. But that is the commercial. Hi, I have a new fabric line with blank quilting, and we hope you'll buy it. So it's supposed to be the secondary topic, and it is. And as a shop owner for 17 years, I feel very strongly that schoolhouse is one of the best things you can do. And it's very important that you come out here, you're here to get information to go back and run your shop successfully. Because if you don't look good, we don't look good, right? If you're not back there, come on, you got to get with me, folks. These jokes are going to be coming at you quick, all right? All right, so our discussion today is going to be about, hit it, John. Did you skip one? I think you skipped one. All right. That's number 2. Very good. And we have a real team effort. I designed for Blank, and we have John here who is with Iris Threads, and we remembered something, she remembered something, John remembered, so we're all here today. It's wonderful, nice collaborative group. So today we're going to talk a little bit about things that you might want to do instead of high tech. What? We live in a hugely high-tech world, I'm sure. In fact, the discussion earlier was on using Facebook, and all of that is extremely important. And it is the way you find who? Avid quilters, right? They come to your area, they are traveling. I had the newspaper one time, our local newspaper wanted me to be in theirs, and they said, you can be in our ad, you can be on our website, you pay $30 a month, which when you're talking about that dollar, that's a lot. And they'll come and find you on the website. We'll have your address, and then you can go there. And I'm like, why wouldn't they just Google quilt shops in DeLand and find me that way? So they didn't quite understand it. But you all know it's very easy to find you, right? Yes, it is. And it's because of all those. Okay, just yell out what you see the symbol for. What do you see? Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, Yahoo, Twitter. Well, our president likes Twitter, doesn't he? Yeah, he does. Yahoo. What's the S? Duh. Yeah. Yeah, I think we got them all. Google. Hangout. Where's Hangout? All right. Haven't heard of that one, John says. All right. So I want you to remember while you're doing all this very high-tech stuff and you're trying to get out there, and sometimes it's not really that inexpensive, don't forget your low-tech. Your low-tech is going to be getting you new quilters. And oh darn, they just need everything, don't they? Don't they? Yes, they do. Are you tired? Did you have lunch? You're starving, right? You want to go get lunch. So oh darn, they just need everything. So when you're looking at your best forms of advertising, there's a couple ways you can look at it. Have you ever heard the term shotgun approach? That's much like just shooting pellets out. They're going to hit something, and a lot of that is what you find with the newspaper. I knew one shop, she put an ad in every single weekly Thursday newspaper. Thursday, because that's usually your food ads, or Sunday. And she didn't, and unfortunately the newspapers very often won't let you pick where it goes for the best price. They charge you a lot more if you want it in a certain area. So the shotgun approach is trying to hit that person that goes, quilting. My grandmother was a quilter. I might like that. I'm getting ready to retire in another year. Maybe that's something I want to do. Versus targeted approach. How many of you have shops in historic districts or in downtown districts? Just a few? How many in a strip center? Where else are you? Out in the boonies? Out in the boonies? Business park. Where else are you? Out in the highway? Do you have a shop? Or you're online. You know, I have someone here who was telling me she has only an online store. And I said, yeah, I think we might address that. One thing you might want to do is, if you are in, is I'll pass this around. This is a menu. This is a menu that goes around the town, and get on those kind of things. It's a map, a menu. So I'll pass that around. The other thing you might want to do if you're in a historic district, and usually these things are pretty inexpensive, like $125 for the year. I think when I'm looking at my budget, that's pretty inexpensive. Also, do you get barraged all the time with people wanting you to advertise with them? If you do, high school students coming in, just tell them that you set your budget in January. Come back next January. All right, so targeted approach is what you want to try and do for your best dollar spent. All right, so specifics might be anything to do with women. I think we talked about that in the Facebook, targeting women that way. Not that we don't want men quilters. In fact, there's a lot of guys at this quilt event. A lot of you. But the predominant quilter is the woman that comes in. Do any of you have more men than women that come in your shop? Okay, I didn't think that was happening yet. I thought we saw a hand there. But predominantly women. So any periodical, if you can get in the hospital newsletter, a nurse's newsletter, teacher's newsletter, and again, you're looking for that new quilter, someone who hasn't quilted before and wants to come in, and you want to follow that up by getting them in your shop. Thank you, John. And the other thing, if you have a brick and mortar shop, get a sign out. How many of you have a sign out in front of your shop? How many of you wanted to put a sign out, but they wouldn't let you put a sign out? Really? Okay, you want to hear this. When I opened my shop 17 years ago, I could have a sign for 3 months. Oh, no. This is last week. And so I actually had to go before the city commission and tell them why I wanted a sign up front. Now, look at these statistics on the next page. 5,000 to 16,000 cars pass my sign every single day. How many people is that go, a sign, a quilt shop? It must be meant to be. I had one lady come in once and her daughter was with her. She goes, Mom saw the sign, turned the corner, and almost wrecked the car trying to get in there. And that's what they'll do. But the new quilter, I put the sign out too at 8 o'clock in the morning, and I don't open till 10. So who am I trying to get at 8 o'clock in the morning? The drivers driving by, right? Have a sleep, drink at their quilt shop. So my sign is out there. Now what I had to do, I had to go before the city commission. I had to get it approved. But let me tell you, I opened in 2001. In 2008, where the economy kind of went stinko, they dropped every regulation they had because the city realized I pay taxes, I bring in quilters who pay taxes, and they better smarten up and let every shop. I meant to take a picture day before yesterday of the whole town. Somebody said the other day to me, oh, I think we have too many signs out now. And I said, no, we don't. I said, we need those signs, and those merchants need those signs. Now, I'm on a side street. How many of you are on a side street? Because, good for you, yeah. I don't need the main street. Why don't I need the main street? What are you? Who said that? Very good. Yeah, you were the last time. We are destination shops. They're going to find you. So if, again, we're trying to do this for that new quilter and maybe the new person that's just come to the area. It was cute. I had 2 ladies in last week, Mary and Janice, and I said, okay, I'm going to use your as an example. They came in the shop and they said, oh, we saw your sign. I said, oh, I'm writing this, adding notes to my, and they said, yeah, we saw your sign, and we found a parking place, and we came in, and then they spent, and they spent, and they spent, and they spent. So it was wonderful. But I also made some nice new friends. So I have 3 signs. I have one out on the main street. Now, to have that one there, I do have to get permission from the business on the corner. She is a beauty shop, and I go to her for my hair. So yeah, it made it happen real nice. But she had to write a letter, and that's what they did. The city is always worrying about liability in that. So she has a letter on file, and then I can have my sign there. Now, about a month ago, they played games again, and they said, oh, we don't know if you can have your sign there. It's got to be this and that. Just be at those commission meetings, be speaking. They don't realize, people who don't own a business and don't pay taxes like that, how important it is to reach every single quilter that you can. Then I also, this is my building. I have what's called a bowling alley building. It's long and narrow, and it's a lot bigger than it looks. Well, it's 3,000 square feet. Who thinks that's big? Okay, nobody. You're funny. In Florida, that's big. way out in the Midwest where you've got, 2 levels of 8,000 square feet each? No. So, and then I have one for the crosswalk because I'm right across the street from all the city buildings. And so that one is closer, more writing. As a rule, I've found, don't write too much on it. Thank you, John. Don't put too much on it. So again, you're going to check your regulations. Don't get your sign made first. Do that. Start analyzing the signs you like. So do your own research. Trust yourself a lot more. I think when I used to come to market 17 years ago and I go to the schoolhouses, I went back thinking, I don't know anything. You do know a lot, and you have your own common sense. So notice what you see in a sign. The primary colors are always really good. That's why mine's not one of those. But the primary colors are a good place to start. How many of you do billboard advertising? Okay, you do. Is it successful for you?
Yes.
Excellent. In your handout, I put the name and phone number of a national billboard company. I looked around. I'm not plugging for them, but I did find them. They were very nice when I called and talked to them. And I keep thinking, if you're near a big interstate or something like that, and if you can't afford it, try partnering with someone. Like I'm in a historic district, so I've thought often about partnering with them. When I was in Las Vegas, not for fun, was it for fun? I forget, yeah. Anyways, who's been to Las Vegas? There isn't a taxi, a bus, a van that goes by that doesn't have a billboard on the side, right? Right? I don't know that I want to buy everything they're advertising, but come on, that was funny. All right, you guys. So those taxis going by, I don't know, is that a good fit? Think about where you are. The other thing, the bus stops, this is a bus stop. I don't know that bus people can afford quilting. I don't know if that's bad, but maybe not. Because we don't really have a lot of bus riders in our area, but I sure think that billboard's kind of cool. Also, some other things, what about a local gas station? Maybe there's only one gas station in the area. Anybody thinking of any place where they might run in? What about coffee? The coffee covers, something like that. Be unique, be different, be in their face, right? Any other thoughts where you might run an ad? Yes?
We advertise on a golf course.
Excellent. Let's go to the next one. Oh, it's not there yet. Excellent. Where do you advertise on their scorecards? Great idea. Quilters and golfers go right together. Great idea. Any other thoughts? Anybody else advertise anywhere different? Anybody thinking of somewhere? Where do you advertise?
We advertise in the local supermarket at the carts. You know, the flip down for the kids.
Ah, the flip down for the carts.
Yeah, they have that as real estate space, so we put our ad there as well.
All right. You could also do, I advertise on one of those great big immovable garbage things. I don't know if I got anybody in for it, but I liked the people that came in and suggested it, so I tried that. But I thought the gas station one was really good. If you only have, one and you're standing there, oh, quilt shop, So be creative on that. Newspaper ads, usually the Sunday and Thursday. Is Thursday always the food ad? Thank you, John. Can it be free? In your local newspaper, this is mine. In this, it's all free. All of it's free. And I was kind of, one local shop had an ad in there every single week. Come in for the free demonstration on a brand new sewing machine. Well, that's pretty cool. Free in there. So she got that she was very diligent about it. I think we pick where we want to be. I think we go back home from market going, I need to do all of it tomorrow, right? So pick and, so a lot of it only requires your time and your research. And be persistent, be friendly. Thank you, John. And local free advertising. So you've got your newspaper events section. You've got charity. How many of you do a charity? Everybody should put their hand out. You all do something for your community, whether it is Quilts of Valor. So showcase that. Call up the local newspaper. They are desperate for something. I am in the newspaper like once a year, and I don't know that I do it, but they are looking for something colorful. It's a slow news day, probably not right now with the royal wedding coming up, but I don't know. But they're desperate for information and local coverage. So hurricanes, unfortunately we have a lot of those in Florida. So if you're doing something, pillowcases, write a story about quilting, running advertising if you can split it with them. A lot of times you get a full page and it's half and half. We do have a handout on this one. I apologize, last one I didn't have a handout. But so write a story about quilting. Thank you, John. Another one, this is more targeted. How many of you have a country register in your area? I thought for online stores too, because I realize we have some of you in here. This would be a possibility. And as far as signage, there's no reason. I mean, what do you do? Quilts of Valor. Do you have a classroom big enough to invite people in? What do you do?
Yeah, we do an overnight quilting event to raise money for local cancer.
Do you put it in the newspaper?
We have not had success getting it into the newspaper.
Why not?
Because it's on a Friday night, and that's when there's
Football
a
games.
football game picture. So they have not come to our event. Our event sells out every year, but still.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, we're working on that.
So so I think you have to go back and apply these ideas to, we gave a sewing machine to a local Boys and Girls Club 4 months ago, and they came and they videoed. They still have not put it in the newspaper, but they keep saying we will.
Yeah.
So at least they were there, and you have to give them plenty of time. But another thing, you have the right to ask about demographics, just like with your Facebook advertising. I advertise, I'm right in the center of Florida. I advertise in a 50-mile radius. So who advertises? Do you do country register? What do you do for advertising? What do you do? What do you do?
Radio,
You do radio
yeah, but we just do it on Christian radio.
on the Christian market. Very targeted, and how long is your ad?
Well, we just do like 6 months.
Oh, I meant how long in time, but
Oh,
yes.
30
30-second
seconds.
ad. Have you found results from it? Very good.
People don't even know we're there.
Excellent. Do you love that? I've been there 17 years and people come in, when did you move here? Oh, really? Last week. Yes. Who else does some kind of advertising like that? What do you do?
Well, I write a health topic.
Nice.
Newspaper and a nurse, and then they put down quilt shop.
Ah, very good. Very good. Very good. Kind of like what I'm doing here. No, but I love owning the shop, and I love the opportunity it gives me to meet new quilters, to make new relationships, and it's fun most of the time, right? Most of the time. So we'll go on to the next one. So here's the phone number, and I also put it on your handout of the company I called and talked to. Billboards, is that pretty close to what you found? 600 to 5,000 and usually they want 13 weeks, I think, for their advertising. But I'm anxious to try the billboard out on an interstate highway. I think it would really bring in a lot of people, especially during your, we have, who's in Florida? We're very seasonal down there. Anybody else that is seasonal? Is Portland seasonal? Or you just got people here all the time?
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, I'm jealous, yes, because we really drop. It's not as bad as in South Florida. It really drops there. We're up around Orlando, so even though I'm about an hour from Orlando, I still get travelers from Orlando. So as I mentioned, gas tops, trucks, bus transit shelters, movie theater ads, that I thought might be good. So golf carts, there it is, there's the golf course. So if you've got a golf course near you, and large employers getting on their mailing. I don't know, I've never bought an email mailing. Have any of you bought one or found it to be beneficial? Yeah, they've tried to scam me a couple times that it was, but I didn't. But any other thoughts where you might advertise in your town?
If you have a school that they're the larger school district, and they send out a newsletter to the teachers, we do it free.
Yes.
You want to give the teachers a discount or something?
Oh, that's a great idea. Put a coupon in there all the time. And I would go on their calendar. They ran ads. They would call me every year. Would you like to be on our calendar? The answer was always yes. And I would put it in there. So thank you, John. While you're here at Market, be sure you're on companies' websites, the fabric companies. Once in a while I go and look and I'm like, I buy tons of their stuff and I'm not on their website, and so you send your little email out, but people slip up or don't think of it. Be sure you're on related products. So your batting companies that you enjoy, thread companies, thank you, John. And most states have a country register. I have advertised for 17 years in the Country Register. I think any of you advertise in it? In the state of Florida, I think pretty much every shop is in there. It's very reasonable. The other thing, so we've got TV, we've got print media, we've got magazines. What about magazines? Have any of you advertised in magazines? Very expensive. What I did find, a third of a page, a long one. If you are also, in addition to owning the shop, a designer, or you plan, I used to do quilting cruises, and so I would put it in there, and they never throw a magazine away. So once in a while, if you're a little bit flush with money, you might consider running an ad in a magazine if you think it might work. Okay, and thank you, John. Newsletter, how many of you do a newsletter? Getting everybody that walks in your store on that newsletter is, oh, but I don't really quilt. Yeah, but I think you'll enjoy my newsletter. Get them on the newsletter. Have something in every newsletter. I carry a product in the shop. You'll probably see it here. Artsy boards, they are a no-sew product, and the reason I carry them is so it's an inclusive shop. People come in and there's always that one girlfriend that came along for lunch. She's pretty bored with the whole idea of quilting. I don't know what these people do, so she kind of plops herself down at the table, and then I'll go, would you like to see something you don't need to sew on? And so I make sure that she's involved, and then she's telling everybody else it's a wonderful product. So if you can think of something to have in your shop that doesn't require a sewing machine, whether it's, I don't know, embroidery, hand embroidery, something like that, a related product, paper crafting, I'm not sure, but it could be a draw for people to come in. Your staff should be included in your pictures in your newsletter. You want your shop to be a fun place. Get pictures that say, don't you want to come on in here? I have almost 10,000 on my newsletter mailing, and I put 30 pages in it. I know, that's a lot. Yeah, and it's all about the customer. Advertise local events, things going on in your town. I have that 50-mile radius, so if people will come in, they will travel farther and more for a fun event. So get them into your shop. We have DeLand, somehow in 365 days, has 85 events a year. That's more than 2 a week. I know. It's like, what are we drinking this weekend, riding this weekend, singing this weekend? Every weekend we do something. And DeLand is named the #1 historic district in the nation by, I guess it was one of the newspapers a couple years ago. So it's a very busy district, so you make sure I feed into that. Restaurants, get on their menus. I have almost 10,000 on my mailing list, and I want bus loads in the shop. I want demo days in the shop. Demos are great for people that just walk in your shop too. Any questions? How are we doing on time, John? And yes.
I was going to point out another place that you can
Yes.
get stuff, especially if you're in a more touristy area, is in the local motels, hotels.
Thank you.
Always have areas that you could literally make little postcards up to leave. And
Oh,
then
postcards are a good idea. They always want me to advertise in those, and it's pretty pricey, to have a page in the hotel book.
Yeah, but if you do your own thing.
That's
they
a good
all have
idea.
displays, and a lot of times they allow people to put stuff.
And the
in
interstate, I used to take my brochures, and I had to do it because there's nobody actually, but I had a brochure printed. It was just a bookmark size, and I would go to the hotels in the area and slip them in there. Just go and do it. Ask forgiveness later. So, yes, other thoughts?
How often do you put out your newsletter?
Okay, I make it pretty easy on myself. All week long, I take pictures. You come in my shop, and who do I take? You're welcome to join my email mailing. I don't mind you seeing it.
You mean you're talking about email, not?
Email. This one's email. I don't do hard mail anymore, not with 10,000 people on it. Pretty good readership, about 40% open, which I understand is pretty good. And I had a really good line last. You don't want to miss this. Ooh, that was the best readership I've had. I was like, that was good. Let me think some more. And, but I kind of like a scroll, so I'll put new stuff. But I actually made a list the other night, and I came up with almost 20 topics that I should include in every email. What are they? Come on, you know what they are. Give me some topics that should be in your email. New products. What else? Come on, this will help everybody. Classes, if you have them. Special events.
Reviews?
Reviews. Tell me what you mean by reviews.
Well, let's
Ooh,
say-
customers who like you.
What?
Customers who like you.
Yeah, well, like, let's say we have a new feature
Go
product.
to the next
like
one.
Clover that's coming out, and we'll put like a brief blurb describing this is new coming in. Let's say one of our staff member likes it, and we'll give them like a paragraph or so saying why they like it.
Oh, I like that. The other one of the best pictures I take is a lady bought 15 spools of thread. We put them in a pretty basket for her. Mary loves the thread, and you will too. So it shouldn't always be you telling people to buy. I'm an educator, so I love to educate them. They'll buy from you because you're the expert. They want to buy it. Give them a reason. Unless it's that one lady that comes in that doesn't value what we do or what she does. I had one lady, an award-winning applique artist, and she bought all her fabric at Walmart. And I tried to hand applique with Walmart fabric. You can't do it. And I never understood it, but she's not your customer anyways, right? She's not, no matter what you say. So what else? These are great ideas. Anything else? What was the question? I forgot. What? How often do I do it? I try every Sunday. And it's cute because the ladies, and I just read something, Thursday through Sunday is the best time to send it. And I actually sent one at 10 o'clock this morning. I like constant contact. I wrote it 2 days ago, and I had it all set to send out. I do a demo day on one Saturday a month. I will probably do a schoolhouse in the future on my demo day. It pays the bills for the month. I get almost 120 people in on that day, and it rocks the house. And they don't care what I do anymore. It's like they don't care what I do, but it has been one. I don't do a lot of classes. We only do private lessons. I don't have a classroom big enough. So getting those people in for that demo day, yeah, I know. It slays me. We have to go down to Main Street. We have to lug down 20 chairs. We have to rearrange the whole shop. We do 4 sessions of 20 each. They sign up. They call us. They sign up. And it's an hour demo. And I've done a batting one, and I always give a free gift. The one that we're doing, what's today, Thursday? The one that I'm doing this Saturday, we're going to show them how to do special techniques to add pop and snap to your quilts. So, but what they're actually going to do, we're going to do is, I have a crayon artist in the shop, and they're all going to get a little Ziploc bag. I ordered $75 worth of crayons. My budget is about $2 a person, $1 to $2 a person, and I give them that. I give them that bag and the directions, and they love it. They absolutely love it. And if they don't all leave that day, I sell them for $10 after that. So, but they each get a gift bag. So this one's going to be on crayon. Oh, and then we also do this thing where I call Tool Time with Tira. All right? I looked around the shop one day. I know I got to stop, right? And I looked around the shop and I thought, what do I have growing dirt? You know what that is, right? Yeah. What was I thinking when I bought that? So if it's a fabric, make something little with it. If it's a notion, demonstrate it. I was like the biggest seller in the United States of yo-yos for a while. So instead, I thought, what am I doing with all this? Let's demonstrate them. We sold like 75 yo-yos that day. It was like, and we sold the needle threader, the handheld needle threader. So we call it Tool Time with Tira, and that's how we introduce it. And now I should draw some names. Thank you all so much. Come and see us.